Isabel, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me and the viewers about your experience working with me. This is one of those cheesy testimonials. We need like some cue some 80s music or something. I don't know. But yeah, good to see you. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just hanging out in my golf shirt and excited to talk to you and tell some folks about our work together. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really have a huge script for this. So, I guess my first question is why did you come seeking my help? What was going on with you and why did you message me in?
Yeah. So I have always been interested in tech recruiting. But I've been doing like regular recruiting for a while. I work at a company as a corporate recruiter. And I have just always wanted to switch into tech recruiting. Because let's face it, tech recruiters make more money, and I'm also more interested in that space. And ultimately, I want to work at a big tech company. So I don't know how to be a tech recruiter, and I have applied for a lot of jobs. I have never heard back. Yeah, I've never even got an interview. So I really wanted some help, and I figured the best way to get some help is to talk to another tech recruiter. So I tried to message people on LinkedIn. No one responded. Then I thought, okay, what if I just learn some things on YouTube about how to do tech recruiting? And then just by
This is
chance,
interesting. I don't feel like I've ever actually heard the origin story of how we got linked up. So keep going. Sorry to interrupt, but this is interesting.
yeah, yeah. So then I tried to be like, okay, if I wanted to get into tech recruiting, maybe I should learn how to do tech recruiting. So I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and most of them were really boring, and I feel like I wanted to fall asleep. And I'm like, okay, do I really want tech recruiting? Because it seems very boring. But then by chance, I ran into the Rubber Duck channel, and I watched all the videos. No joke, I watched all of them.
Mhm.
And I think these videos, they're just the right length, and they're pretty funny. They're personal, and I just feel like, wow. I think this guy really knows what he's doing. Like, he seems very genuine. Like, he seems to be a real tech recruiter instead of these other people. They're just talking from a textbook. So I'm like, okay, I really want this guy to help me out, maybe to tell me something's wrong with my resume, or
Mhm.
tell me what kind of companies I should target at, or just give me any kind of strategy or advice.
Mhm.
But then, I don't know how to reach out to him, to you, and I don't know your email address. So I googled rubber duck, like, and then ultimately I found your name. So I found
This
your
is
your
this is
thing.
very advanced sourcing skills here being used.
Yeah, and I found your LinkedIn profile. So as you know, I then sent you a message, and I introduced myself.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And I'm glad that you did message me because we started to work together.
Yes.
And just to kind of set the stage, Isabel was at a place where she wanted to get a bit more into tech, like she said. And she had like a general understanding of what it was, how it all worked together. She wanted a little bit more opportunities to jump in and actually do the thing because the best way to actually learn something that is to do it. So, and she wanted to dive deeper on a few different topics when it came to tech recruiting. So that's kind of where we started together. And I guess I'll let you take it from here a little bit more, but ultimately this ended up in a pretty cool offer. So I'll let you kind of go from there, how that happened.
Yeah. So I mean, like, at first I felt very overwhelmed because I wanted to ask, I remember I wanted to ask you so many different things, like what kind of companies I should target at, because I knew that, okay, let's face it, I'm not gonna, like, if I apply for like a job at Facebook or Google as a tech recruiter, I don't think they'll even look at my resume. So I'm like, okay, hey, like, should I, like, which companies should I target at? Like, where should I actually like apply for these jobs? Because I don't want to waste my time. And then I think I also asked you, so what is my story? I want to get my story straight because I know they're
Yeah,
gonna ask me, hey, tell me about yourself, tell me about your like recruiting experience. Like, how exactly should I describe that? Because I think I'm always like a little bit nervous during interviews.
sure.
And then I think we were also working on my resume and on my LinkedIn profiles. And you gave me some pretty good advice. And then I also asked you like, hey, how did you get into tech recruiting? And you gave me some good advice. One of it is that, hey, it is pretty hard to just like switch into tech recruiting. You just need an opportunity. And I think you mentioned that it might make sense if you take a contract. Um, and
Yeah.
then that would give you the opportunity to learn more in this field. So ultimately, if you want to get a full time at a tech company, then that's like your chance to that's like a stepping stone for you
Yeah,
to
yeah,
get
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
eventually. Um, so I remember I was kind of always against taking a contract, but um, it happened that at that time there was a recruiter from an agency reaching out to me and asking me about, hey, there's like this contract recruiter, tech recruiter position with Google. Do you want to interview? So ultimately, I did interview for it, but I remember I did ask you about your advice. Okay, should I do this? Should I not do this? And plus, you also referred me to a lot of these other opportunities because I
Yeah,
think you
because
got a lot of people reach out to you and say, hey, do you want this job? Do you want this job? And then you would refer those opportunities to me. And some of them, like I remember there was one from I don't remember which company. I think Tesla. And then there's like another company, but they're full-time jobs. But
yeah,
the
Amazon,
advice they gave
Amazon
me,
too.
yeah, yeah. And then the advice they gave me is like, I don't have like full-time tech recruiting experience. So then I realized, okay, if I really want to break into this industry, then I should take a contract. So I interviewed with Google and they gave me the offer right away. But what I really wanted to share today is how team has helped me negotiate the offer. And I mean, ultimately, um, he kind of helped me strategically negotiate this offer. And
The
I
$10,000 email, right? Or was it $20,000
no, I think
email?
no, it's $20,000 more. Like I
Yeah.
basically will be making $20,000 more from the
And
original
yeah,
offer.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I want
So
to let me jump in really quick because there was a lot of cool stuff that you reminded me of that we did
right,
together. Like
right.
yeah, we went back and forth on your LinkedIn. We figured out how to tell a story on your resume. We figured out the right titles that still had integrity, were still honest, but made the story flow a bit more together. And we did a lot of review, particularly before you got the Google offer, on metrics, on the recruiting life cycle, on tech in general, on
Yeah,
how to kind of talk about things, how to present yourself in an interview, so on and so
right,
forth.
right.
And then ultimately we got to where you're gonna, I'll give it back to you right now, but ultimately got to the Google offer and they said, hey, we can only pay you this much. We can
Right.
only, and I said, that's BS. And then go ahead and take it from there.
Yes. Yes, but I think for our viewers, like we should kind of keep it a little mysterious because
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe that's true. Maybe that's
right.
true.
I mean,
This is your testimonial.
if,
This is your
if
testimonial.
y'all want to know, work with Rubber Duck. That's
Okay.
why we're doing this video.
Yeah. All right. Great. Let's see. Is there anything else that you would like to add about working with me, or like who would you recommend work with me?
Good question. I think two types of people. First type is like for those who think recruiting might be a good career and who is looking to break into this industry. And maybe also for those that are, um, for example, if they're an agency recruiters and want to switch to corporate or corporate wanting to
Oh
switch
yeah.
to agency recruiters, because I think you have experiences in both of these two settings, or the type of people who want to get into a big tech company because you're working, at a big tech company now. So, or, people like me who want to switch into tech recruiting. So I think, yeah, a lot of different people.
Yeah. And can I just say, I'm extremely proud of you because, you definitely, you definitely had to go through a lot of like it's anxiety provoking
Right.
changing your job and taking a risk, and it's anxiety provoking telling somebody, hey, thanks for that offer, but I'd actually like to make $10 more an hour, take it or leave it kind of thing. And you did that, and you're going to work at one of the, if not the greatest company on the planet right now. And that's going to be on your resume, and it will absolutely affect the rest of your career moving forward. And you did all of that. I supported you, but you're the one who showed up and did it. And that should be acknowledged. So yeah.
But I think I'm also really appreciative about the like I don't know how to phrase this, but almost like the coaching aspect, because I was very uncertain about taking a contractor job, but kind of helping me seeing, like when making decisions, how do you see, um, like the long-term impact, like how to take risks. So for me to see those things, and um, I think you have to, um, like I think, yeah, it really made me realize that, oh, I want to take this risk, and even if I fail, I think I would still be okay. But if I
You had a little
if,
support. You had a
yeah,
little support.
if I do not fail, if this leads to like later on like a full-time offer as a tech recruiter at a big tech company, then I think it's really worth it.
Yeah.
So that support, I really appreciate that as well.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for I don't know, just working with me and now being my friend. And I'm really excited to see how things go at Google. Maybe you'll be referring me to a position. Who knows? Maybe that's where this is going.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Have a
Okay.
good rest of your night.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye.